What's up, my brothers and my sisters from another mister? So today we're going to do a comic book review of Haunt, issue number 6, where we uncover Kurt Kilgore's mysterious death and how it led to Haunt through the eyes of Mirage. And this is like a standalone issue that we're seeing from her perspective, just as a revisit, between issues number 1 through 5, brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. So before Kurt's death, we get this flashback with Mirage and Kurt in a hotel room of some sort. And Mirage asks Kurt if he's really serious about it. And Kurt's like, look, man, it's a little late to second guess ourselves, but I want to be with you, Mirage. Things with Amanda, his wife at that point, are not working out. So I can't keep living this way. He wants a clean break from Amanda, leave the agency, and call it a life with Mirage. And Mirage is like, don't be teasing me like that. Don't be getting my hopes up like that. This is really gonna work? Is it really gonna work? And Kurt's like, I'll make sure of it. It'll be too easy. It's too simple and it's too perfect. All we got to do is, Mirage, you get the notebook, we'll do the exchange, we'll get the money, and we'll leave. We'll leave together and call it a life, and I'll make sure Amanda has her money to call things right. Just make sure you get on that rooftop on that mission. And this is a callback from mission number 1 where Kurt had to go to Bolivia on his mission. So Mirage does her thing. Her and Kurt talk on the intercom. Kurt is in his body bag, even though he was supposed to be delivered as a fresh cadaver in Dr. Schillinger's lab, but he was delivered outside. That's not part of the mission. So already the mission went awry so far. So Kurt tells her something's not right, but I'm going to turn my comm to HQ. Try to go radio silent on your end. I don't need 2 voices in my ear, all right? So you can track me, follow my signal, and when I say I have Schillinger, that's when you come in and you coordinate the pickup of the notebook and we good, right? So Mirage is like, all right, she does her mission, she does her killing. We know she's badass as a female espionage spy. Even though she's playing both ends here, she's doing her thing. So Kurt over the intercom tells Mirage that he's outside and they should have brought him inside where the bodies are done. But you know what? The mission's got to go on. So she goes up the ventilation system looking for Schillinger, trying to communicate with Kurt like, yo, man, where you at? You're not coming in on me. But keep in mind, he doesn't want to have 2 pieces of communication in his ear. So when she goes to the vent and she sees him, and of course we got to get a little admiration for that bakery cake right there. She sees Kurt killing Schillinger. Over Kurt's intercom, they tell him, Kurt, you're crazy. You're not supposed to kill Schillinger. You're supposed to bring him in alive because whatever he has in that notebook, we need it. And Kurt reminds him, they don't know what he was doing, and they'll understand when they see me. And this is a callback to issue number 1 because Dr. Schillinger was experimenting on kids, and Kurt was just disgusted by that. So Mirage does her thing, and she's very side-eye about, like, you're supposed to keep him alive, but she goes in, retrieves a notebook, and that's that. Now, back in this panel right here, Kurt goes to see his brother, but before he does, he makes a phone call to Mirage. And Mirage is like, do you know what you're doing? Like, why did you have to kill Dr. Schillinger like that? And Kurt's like, look, man, look at it this way. That notebook was the only source of information and the only source of his work. So now it's worth a lot more money now. So I'm here to talk to my brother. Even though him and I don't get along, this is the only way I could talk to him. And plus, he was experimenting on children. You saw what they did. I had to end his ass right there. I had to end that brother's career. So Mirage is like, yeah, despite now that notebook is worth more money now without Schillinger, now we run the risk of this technology falling into the wrong hands. And now that there's no source and your people were supposed to have Schillinger, we could be helping some really bad people doing some really bad things. And Kurt's like, that's not going to happen. The plan stays the same. You schedule the sale, my team will stop it, we retrieve the notebook, you escape with the bad guy's money, and we go about our happily married life or whatever. But before that can happen, after he does his confession from issue number 1 where Kurt goes outside and he gets tranquilized and kidnapped into the van, Mirage sees it from a distance, keeping an eye on him. So Mirage goes up to the girl and she tells her, you got 3 seconds to tell me where they took him. Tell me. Oh, says the lady, nice to see you too, Mirage. And before the lady could tell anything, she kind of rubs some salt into Mirage's face. Like, if anyone knew you were actually working with him, on top of playing both sides against the middle to leave the agency was at your cover, your ass would be on a stick. And Mirage is like, look, I'm not going to ask you again, lady. And the lady's like, look, they don't tell me anything. All they tell me is a job to do. You know how it works. And even if I knew where they took him, why would I tell you? So Mirage is like, okay, I'm just gonna shoot you in your midsection like Joker did to Barbara Gordon in Batman the Killing Joke or something like that. And that's that. So in this panel right here, we get to see, and it's established that Mirage does in fact love of Kurt, she tells her own mother about it. Even though she has to keep things a secret, she can't tell her mom that she works for the government. She tells her mom that she works for a law office and she has to keep her case confidential. A white lie, but anyways, it's a lie nonetheless. But she discovers on the news that Kurt, his life has ended on Thursday night, and Madison County Sheriff says Kurt Kilgore, 31, lost control of the Honda Accord. He was driving on Liberty Road around 11:30 p.m. and crashed into a tree. According to police reports, when the emergency crews arrived, they found Kurt Kilgore trapped in a smoldering vehicle, badly burned, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Even though the way Kurt was ended is, well, they castrated him, they cut off his member, and they ended him because he wouldn't divulge the notebook. So it was established, or at least I thought it was established, that Kurt had no idea about the notebook when in fact he did, but he kept his mouth freaking shut and he went out like a G, like a top G for not saying anything. So at the funeral, she notices that she sees Daniel talking to Kurt, but she doesn't know at the time. All she wonders is, who is he talking to in her? Because it's clear that he's talking to Kurt, and it's established that Daniel can see Kurt and vice versa. So now Mirage takes a meeting with Mr. Whisper, and Whisper tells her that all this chatter I'm hearing is that Kurt stole something and he's hiding something. The agency sent them on a mission, it went awry, and something went missing along the way. The agency doesn't know who has it, but they're not the one who killed him. Someone else did, a new group that he's ashamed to admit that he knows very little about. Although it looks to me like Herg may have finally gotten his act together, whoever they are, they killed Kurt, and now they're throwing their money around hunting to find out where that notebook is, and Mirage has it. But for now, Mr. Whisper hears that Kurt's wife Amanda may have it, but nobody really knows, and Kurt's brother Daniel is next. So Mirage is confirmed, so you have no idea what the actual item is, right? And before Mr. Whisper can answer, which he tells her no, she disappears. She got her answer. So now she goes to Cobra for answers. And her and Cobra have a fight. And even though they have a fight and Cobra slits her breastises, even though his blades are laced with toxin, she has an antitoxin for that, and she knows his tricks. But now she has him pinned, gun to his chest, and she tells Cobra, why are you killing Kilgore? Why are you after? What are you after? She knows it's a notebook, but she wants to find out what other people know. And Cobra tells her, all that I know, it's a notebook. I don't know what's in it, what it has to do with it, but all I know is it has something to do with the dead scientist named Schilliger, but I'm asking for some professional courtesy, man. Let me be. And, well, she disappears and lets it go. So she goes home, cries it out. She's missing Kurt. Kurt is officially gone. And once again, you gotta see that bakery, that birthday cake right there. So she goes on another mission to make sure Kurt's wife Amanda is escorted to the safe house safely. Even though some shit happens, action, high-speed pursuit, chases, she shoots, they shoot, it all goes down, they leave. Now we get into this other panel right here where it was in, I believe, Haunt issue 3 or 4, where she arranges the cell with Herg. Let's meet up and let's exchange, and let me sell you this notebook, and I got this for you, so let's do this. So she fulfills the cell. This was in her Haunt issue number 4 or 5, I believe. She gets the notebook. Haunt's right there. Their paths are crossing. So we get this intertwining story of how Mirage came about to this point forward. So she gets the notebook. The notebook is sold. She's got the cash. She cries. And as her cries, she sheds a tear. And she says, I never thought I'll be talking to you. It's just not something I ever saw happening given our situation. I imagine you would hate me. I'm sure that's the case. And this is her confession right here. But if you knew the fact that you don't know, that you never actually will know what happened, that makes me more upset, and it makes her feel like shit. She got Kurt killed, or at least she thinks so. Our plan was stupid. It never should have worked. We didn't consider the consequences. We were sloppy. Our feelings for each other clouded our judgment. You don't deserve all this. You deserve better. She puts a picture of Kurt on Amanda's bed next to where he's supposed to sleep, and she says, I'm sorry about it all of it. Here's your half. It's the least I could do, as she leaves a bundle of cash next to Amanda on the bed, fulfilling the deal that she had with Kurt. I mean, look, it's cool to go back, but now I'm ready to go forward with the story. It's cool that we get Mirage's perspective, and I want to get more into it. And thank you guys for watching this video, as my voice does recover as it gets closer to 100% while I'm doing these videos. Link in description if you wish to add this comic book and or some of our Rated Comics exclusives to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry. Lastly, if you like the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Like this video and subscribe to Rated Comics YouTube channel. Here at Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.